Hello and welcome there to another episode of the Cliff Notes podcast, where we ask a leader and find a way. Today, Mark Amphlett joined us from down in Devon. How are you doing there, Mark?
Very good, thank you, Tristan.
Cool. What's your role in the industry?
Industry background is I've spent the past 6 years running a plastic injection moulding company down in the southwest.
And what sort of markets or verticals do you work with there?
We're a bespoke shop, so we were producing parts for various industries, a little bit of automotive, a little bit of aerospace, some defence, some white goods, heating, ventilation, air conditioning, those sort of companies.
Has this been a sort of industry you'd work towards?
No, I'd been running a different business for a few years before that in a slightly different sector. That was more FMGC. And I just felt the transferable skills I had from the sales and marketing experience and the managing of that business would slide over into the business I've been running for the past 6 years.
And how have you find it? Is it been a good market to work in?
I've very much enjoyed what we've done there. We've had some great success.
And how is it working down on the coast there? I know a lot of other people that I interact with, sort of more Midlands and north of England. Is there sort of a good community down on the south coast there?
Most people are very surprised. There's a lot of manufacturing happening down in the southwest. In the southwest is a large area coming from Penzance over to Swindon and everything in between. The amount of manufacturing that goes on, there is a shed load of businesses down here which are manufacturing. The only issue I see is that a lot of them don't actually shout about what they're doing. They don't promote themselves very well.
Is that an area that you try and excel at?
Yeah, well, I have been trying my best over the past 6 years to actually promote the UK manufacturing as well as just ourselves down in the southwest. You've got some really large companies around and about. I mean, Bristol is a massive area for the aerospace industry. But yeah, I don't know why people just seem to keep quiet about it down here in the southwest.
And just getting into that sort of that leadership role and stuff. Have you had help from the sort of community, other sort of mentors or families, or what's played into your sort of leadership roles?
The leadership side of things, I was quite fortunate when I was younger. I grew up in the family business. So my father started a business down in the southwest many, many years ago, grew that business, and I was able to grow up and watch the style that he had. Taking that experience with me into what I've done over the past 10 years in the two different businesses I've run there. I have had also help and advice from other people within the community. So over recent years, mixed with some of the other leaders at some of the events I've attended, has been really helpful. And that's the best way that I've picked up knowledge for the sector, is from seeing how other people do things in their businesses.
Mm-hmm. And is that the sort of side you've been sort of concentrating on, the sort of the successes and the sharing more so than maybe apprenticeship and bringing sort of new people on?
Yeah, that's it. I mean, as for bringing new people on board in apprenticeships, I'm very focused on that as being the way forward, especially for the manufacturing sector. The manufacturing sector sort of appears to be a little bit old-fashioned to many people nowadays. The kids just want to grow up and develop apps and all of that sort of stuff. So trying to get people into the manufacturing sector is quite important. An example is at Amtek, we've had a guy turn up there. He was just simply a machine minder when he started, but there was something about him and his ability that we've been able to develop him into maintaining the tooling for the business. So that's kind of a good thing.
I mean, what sort of makeup do you typically find then that you found success with, as to sort of number of sort of younger or apprentices coming in versus hiring more trained hands?
We feel that with the sector that the business is in, there aren't enough skilled people around anymore to fill those positions. So we just try and find, the way I've done it is I try and find the right characteristics in a person. They're obviously coming to a business to earn some money. It's not the highest paid job in the world, but if they've got the right attitude and the right outlook on life, you can quite easily tell that person, teach them the skills they need to progress within a business. And that's what I've had a lot of success doing, is nurturing those people and promoting them within to get them to the stages where they want to be.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And so if the sort of younger audience are listening too, are there any particular characteristics that that would mark them out as to feeling, yeah, I could go far in this industry. There's something for me to learn.
I think the characteristics are just people that want to come in to do a good day's work and actually contribute to a business. When you contribute and you've got an interest in what you're doing, it makes the day go quicker. But then it's those people that can, as I said, then get promoted within the company and also increase the way they can appear to other businesses as well in the area. And then a lot of people don't realise that there are actually good wages in the manufacturing sector. So, if they've got aspirations of earning some decent money, they can do it. Go through the stages, learn what you're doing through a business, and put yourself up for promotion.
It's the sort of thing that it's worth just reaching out to local firms and asking, or is it worth going through technical college and sort of more of apprentice route?
I would say you've got both options there. Here in Newton Abbot, we have a university technical college, which is for engineering and science. That's a great way to go. But also, if, as I said, just having the right attitude goes a long, long way nowadays as well.
Sponsorship of this podcast has been brought to you by Holding Bay, the digital web agency. Holding Bay specialises in working with B2B companies like manufacturers to build better solutions and drive better sales funnels. So if you would like to build a web application or improve your branding and sales funnel, get in contact today. holdingbay.co.uk or call us on 01273 044 019.
And then just in that sort of broader sense, I mean, how have you found sort of manufacturing going for the last sort of 5 years and moving on? There does definitely feel a good groundswell of change and people being more clear about promoting themselves. But
over the past 5 years, it's been very good up until recently. I feel the uncertainty is now kicking in. But on a positive, we are a country of makers. We do make things in this country, and long may that last.
With the uncertainty there, had you been having to make provisions and stocking up of supplies?
Yeah, it's difficult as the business that I've been working at is a bespoke mould shop reliant on our customers. If they're finding it difficult in their markets, that effect ripples down onto us. So unfortunately, there have been some orders cancelled, some orders stopped because our customers just aren't seeing the sales volumes that they were predicting.
And I mean, mostly customers in the UK, or you go wider into Europe and around the world?
The majority of the customers I've had have been in the UK, although saying that they do export themselves, so we're kind of part of that exporting scenario. We have recently had one major customer of ours based over in Europe that we've had to help them remove their tools because of the uncertainty within Europe with what we're doing. They felt it safe that they had their parts made in their own country. Transportation costs come into it, the issues of crossing the channel as well. So we've had to help them remove their tooling from us.
Mm-hmm. So supply chain is still a key part of the business.
It is. But then likewise, we have seen over recent years a lot of companies wanting to reshore their products from the Far East, which has been really encouraging for us.
Yeah, reshoring's been an interesting trend of people finding the different value or the cost as the balance has changed versus what they thought when they first looked. Is that been an area that you've been working with companies on, did you say?
Yeah, I've been pushing the reshoring side of things really hard. We have something great in this country. We have some great people, some great equipment, some great machinery, some great businesses, and we can produce in this country at a competitive rate. And with all the hassles that get involved when you're dealing with the Far East, communication issues, trust issues, payment terms as well, we found that, our factory has become getting quite full with tools coming back from the Far East. And we've been able to provide a much better service, better quality product, and the communication has been so much better for our customers. So although we were competitive in the beginning, that price gap is now far outweighed, and they're happy to pay more to have the things produced in the UK.
So there are various aspects that you can improve on. There's difference in the staff costs and the transportation. There are just many areas that you can you can look for efficiencies on. Is
Yeah, it's really everything that gets involved in that. When ordering from the Far East, the parts have to be put on a boat and shipped over here. That can take 6 weeks plus. So with us being able to produce parts, actually keep them on the shelf, we're able to offer our customers the next day delivery on items. So it's the sort of service that people aren't used to getting when they're just after saving a few pence here and there by getting parts produced out in the Far East.
mm-hmm. Do you work on the sort of earlier stage, on the sort of prototypes or testing parts before they're produced too? Then
Yeah, with the customers that we've got, and any new customers that come on board, I've been able to help them out from like day one. So part design through to prototyping, ensuring the parts fit and function, and then through to the tooling, the tool design, getting the tools made, and then actually producing the parts for them. So yeah, it's the sort of service that people would find it hard to achieve if they were just going down the Far Eastern route.
And you just end up with happy customers and a better order book.
Yeah, that's the theory. That's what we're aiming for.
Happier people all around. I mean, does that make that it is about sort of network of suppliers and network of clients?
Yeah, that's it. That's why I've spent a lot of time over the past few years going to industry events and networking with my peers within all different sorts of businesses throughout the UK. The way I see it is you could be having a conversation with one person who has absolutely no interest and no need in what you do, but they may know someone who could be your next big customer. And just by building that network in the community out there, you never know when they could be of help to you.
And do you think that's part of the sort of leadership position to dedicate part of that time to just getting out and speaking to people and being aware of what's going on?
Yeah, the way I see it is mixing with those peers out there. They are there for a reason as well. They're there to do the same thing as I am. Talk about UK manufacturing, promote their businesses, and look out for the right sort of opportunities. It's not like a load of salespeople doing a 2-minute pitch to each other. It is more about what you can do to help them. So you always keep your eyes and ears open for your colleagues out there, for your friends, to see if you can do anything to help. And I think that's how UK manufacturing should be developing and should be expanding.
Mm-hmm. I mean, have you been involved in any sort of programs, or you've set up initiatives for getting on and getting this stuff working better, either just industry wide or for your own businesses?
It's just really networking tight with a few senior individuals who have got the right sort of influence and the right sort of market you're looking at. So yeah, we do have meetings and conversations, just a small group of us, about what we can do to help each other out. There's nothing formal, nothing official. It's just a group of guys who get together and talk about what we can do to help everyone out. It works brilliantly.
I mean, how do you move that service to a level above the competition so that you're winning more and your guys are busy?
I find that it's from recommendations and word of mouth. If one of my colleagues puts in a good name for me, that has a lot more weight than an attractive sales pitch, a flashy website. There's a lot of trust that needs to be put out there. So that's how I think the professional network and the mixing with the right community can really help an individual and also a business to gain the reputation that they deserve.
Just to wrap up with a few more forward-looking questions, or more throwing them out there. If you're given a blank check on and asked to invent something yourself or put some parts out there yourself, a new service, have you got an idea that's just sat on the nightstand waiting for the right time?
Yeah, that's a difficult one. I mean, obviously, my past 6 years have been within the plastics industry, and the word plastics is getting kind of a bit of a wrapping at the moment, which is understandable. I'd like to just try and invent something that could help, the recycling of the plastics and just help the environment not suffer with the sort of pollution that it's getting at the moment. The parts that I've been making over the past 6 years are all recyclable. They're not the single-use plastics. It tends to be the single-use items that get a wrap, but there are so many of those parts that can't get recycled. So I guess doing something for the environment would be quite kind of a cool thing, really.
Mm-hmm. Is that conversations you have and the research that you and team need to do then is just to keep on the edge of what good technology there is, and in this case on the sort of the recyclable and the environment side?
Yeah, that's it. Exactly right.
Mm-hmm. And then just we're living in these sort of changing times, and we touched on it a little bit earlier, the sort of situation with Europe, and there are many other things going around the world. Do you think you've got a part in shaping the future, or where you want to be heading next?
I certainly hope that I can be part of the manufacturing sector moving forward. I'm quite passionate about what we do as the manufacturing sector in the UK. And a lot of the work I've been doing with the likes of the manufacturer and Make UK is all about helping to change the perception of what we do here in the UK and really push ourselves. So, yeah, I'd like to be a big part of that moving forward.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that sounds great. We'll look forward to seeing you speaking around at some of those events. Manufacturer and Make UK certainly put on a good few regular events that are well attended. So thanks very much for coming and joining us today. Is there anything you'd like to be able to share with us? Maybe how people can get in contact with yourself?
Yeah, I mean, I'd just like to really, as I said, get people behind what we do here in this country. We have got a great manufacturing sector. We've got some really good, passionate businesses out there. And the more that we can just promote ourselves, the better, and hopefully get that message across to the government to invest more in the manufacturing sector. I think that's the best way forward. It's what we need to do. And as for contacting myself, I'm quite open about what I do on LinkedIn and on Twitter. So by all means, try and follow me on there. Mark Amphlett the name. Just hit me up on there.
Great. We'll look forward to speaking to you again soon and seeing what else comes. And hopefully it's more of an upside for the manufacturing space.
Yep, I believe so, Tristan. Thank you.
Thanks for joining us today on the Cliff Notes podcast. If you'd like to get in contact with myself or Mark, you can do so by contacting him directly or through the website cliffnotespodcast.com or on Twitter @cliffnotespod. See you next time.